Hey, welcome back to our shared space. This is your man's Eric with the AOY and the K. Welcoming you back to another conversation, if you will. Um, Again, I want to start off by just asking you to take a deep breath and exhale. Take one more deep breath and exhale. Hey, I just want to say, and I'm going to try to make this conversation. Well, no, I'm not going to rush it. Let me take that back. So let scratch that. Um, I want to say, as I always do, you are more than enough. Um, you are the prize, you are the gift. Specifically today, I want to touch on you're okay. We get a lot of different energy and information from all different places and a lot of people in a lot of places, especially with social media. They don't know who we are. They have no idea who we are, but they have so much to say about our lives. But I want to go a step further. You're not tripping. Things are actually happening to you, whether you realize it or not. Um, and this is more along the mental health line. I had a conversation today and it broke me down. And so I wanted to share that with you. Um, I was thinking about my life, specifically the last 2 years, where I am, how did I get here, what's my part. And I just want to say to you, have more patience with yourself. Give yourself much more grace. Give yourself the same type of grace and understanding and patience that you give others. The way society is set up, especially America and this capitalism, we're taught to chase and chase and chase because we got to have, we need, money. It kind of, you don't need it, but you kind of need it, if that makes sense. And a lot of times people get caught or get in the cycle of trying to have, trying to build. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a hustler's mentality. There's nothing wrong with gaining. There's nothing wrong with getting an education, getting your finances together. What I want to propose is that while we're going after our dreams or our goals, whether it's what we really want, or if it's what society told us we should have, or if it's a combination of both, if you've learned to reconcile them two, then work with it. But something crossed my mind as I started to think about, again, I was having a conversation with my brother, and I had to think about, um, I'm really hard on myself. And I'm sure that there are a lot of you who are listening to this who are really, really hard on yourself. And I want you to give yourself realistically, I don't know why it's so much it's so much easier for a lot of us to extend grace and understanding and compassion to other people and not ourselves. There are things that are happening, and all of our journeys are different. Um, but there are things that happen internally. There are things that happen in our relationships with our friends, with our families, with our loved ones, at work, at church. All of these things. There are the conflicts when you're trying to learn something new. Everybody doesn't learn at the same pace, and some things are frustrating. Some things, programs, um, change at work. We have to do things new, and so change is not easy for a lot of people. A lot of people, even though it's necessary, it's not easy for a lot of people. And I want to add to that, and this is why I want you to give yourself grace, because this is what I had to realize after the pandemic. Well, after the pandemic is still going on. COVID is still going on, but after the pandemic, once we were able to remove the masks and actually not having to social distance as much, a lot of people went back to whatever their new normal was. And that's amazing. That's awesome. That's great. But there are a lot of people who were dealing with issues that COVID multiplied. There's some people who genuinely just love being with people. They love the human touch. They love hugs. They love having conversations. And for however long we had to do it, because everybody did it at different places and at different paces and different amounts of time. But to go from being able to go wherever you want and to be in contact with the people you love, especially you have great relationships, you have great social outlets, to have to be quarantined or in private, close quarters with yourself or with others. And some people found out that they love people, but they really don't like them. But all of the having to be isolated and then having to have the mask on when you are out in public, when you can't. And some people love smiles. I love smiles. I love hugs. It weighs heavy on the mind. And although, like I said, a lot of us got back to a new sense of normal, there are a lot of people who didn't. There are a lot of people who have faked their way through. They show up every day with a smile, but they've never addressed the effects that COVID had on them. COVID alone, the isolation alone, but also the other things that were going on, the feelings of self-doubt or self-worth or self-esteem, the feelings of not being good enough, the feelings of, I have to do this, I have to do that. And there are a lot of people who, during the process, lost homes, lost jobs, lost relationships. And there are a lot of those folk who did not have or do not have therapists or insurance for therapists, and they did not have healthy outlets to express how they were feeling. And sometimes, you tell people how you're feeling, they say, "Oh, get over it. Oh, you all right." And that's not the case. So I want you to, if you feel like your mind isn't working like it used to, if you're feeling like it's taking longer to get out of a slump, if you feel like like your sadness lingers a little bit longer than normal, honor your feelings. But while you're working on honoring your feelings, don't get so frustrated. Take into consideration that COVID and the pandemic came so quickly, and we had to adjust so quickly, and we were learning things as we were going along. I mean, we constantly do this and do that and don't do this and don't do that. And it put a lot of us in different and new spaces, and they weren't all good. It was different, and it had negative effects on a lot of people. And it did not help when the winter came and the darkness was longer, because it was dark in the morning and then the afternoon got darker. So I just want to say, I just want to offer this to you. Give yourself grace. Give yourself peace. Give yourself the understanding. And there are a lot of folks that say you should get over it or this and other. Some people mean well, they just don't have the proper tools that you need. So you can hold them accountable or make them aware of how their words or their actions make you feel. But give them grace too, because it didn't affect them the same way. And some people, it does affect, some things affect people in a way, but because of their ego or social media or the presentation, they have to pretend that it's not as bad as it is, or that it's not affecting the way that it is. But I just want to encourage you and let you know, there's nothing, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There is something that's happening. And I want to offer to you, if you've never thought about it, maybe the isolation of the pandemic has had an effect on you. And I would suggest getting in some sort of finding a social group or a therapist or even a life coach that can walk you through, help you get in touch with those feelings and the breakdown of what it may have done to you. And then go from there. But yeah, I really, when I thought of all of the things that I was going through, in addition to the isolation of COVID, I broke down and I had to share this message. I wish I could have shared it as I was feeling it, but I feel like right now it's kind of peaceful here. It's a good time to share. So I offer you grace. I offer you the gift of giving yourself grace. Thank you for taking this time to chat with me and to let me express myself. I hope if you've been in a rut and could not figure it out, I hope this brings, and whether it was the isolation of COVID or not, maybe it was something else, but I hope this sparks something in you so you can start on that journey of understanding and getting the help and the healing that you need. So again, if you like this kind of content, if this message helped you, or if you know somebody who it can help, please like, share, subscribe. And again, if you like this kind of content, hit the notification button because I'm going to do my best when I'm inspired to give some inspiration to you all. So thank you for letting your brother talk to you. Again, that's Eric with the ALY and a K. And I'll chat with you guys later. Peace.